Selling puppies. Go back 3-4 years ago, COVID was going on. Man, you could sell a one-legged, one-eyed dog and have no problem whatsoever at all. Different market today. It's a lot more saturated, and prices are reverted back to not the crazy prices then, but more the prices that were pre-COVID. And so you've got to get your game right if you are going to sell puppies. And there is 9 things that we're going to be talking about fairly briefly about this. All of these 9 things are relevant to what you're doing. If you are missing out on any of these things, then you will reduce your opportunities and your ability to sell puppies. So let's get on and start with number 1. Selling puppies for the first time can be a pretty daunting task. I mean, you're worried about, you've got this great list of puppies, and now you're worried about where's this going to end up. And I mean, the place you wanted to end up with all the puppies gone to great homes with you with a nice big fat bank balance. That's where we want to go with this, right? But where do you start? You start early. You start soon. In fact, you can even start before the puppies are even born. You can start getting interest in a future litter by posting information on the pregnant mum and what's going on with her. So the point here is you have a window of opportunity to get these puppies their new homes. And it's from when they're born till they're about 9 or 10 weeks old. And the further out you go in that process, the less likely you are to get these puppies sold. So start early. Don't wait. Right when they're born, this is the time to start putting information out, videos out, pictures out on this litter. Don't do it late. Start early. And I mean, for those of you who think that this is difficult, if like everything that you've not done before, it does have its element of difficultness to it. But like everything, you've got to learn how to do it. And it's not that hard once you have a strategy on how you can do that. That's what this is all about. Pictures, videos, and testimonials. I see so many people screw this one up. You've got to have good pictures of your dogs. If you're not doing that, you are completely missing the boat. You just shut this video off now. If you're not going to do that, I'm not going to show you anything that's useful, because this is fundamental. So one of the problems is that people are like, I've got to hire a professional photographer. I don't know how to do photography. No, I'm going to make this easy for you. What do you use? The smartphone you have already. What I'm shooting this on is just simply a smartphone. It's an old smartphone and it works great. Take a video or videos that last for 5 or 10 minutes. Get down at the puppy's level in an environment that shows your puppies off, not in cages, not with other dogs yapping and barking around, but in a clean environment that doesn't have the laundry needed to be folded and the plates on the table. A clean, uncluttered environment with, hey, if you've got grandkids or children playing with the dogs. But the great thing about this is that you can take 5-10 minutes worth of video and you can go use very inexpensive programs. Like I use iMovie. The app is downloadable for just a few dollars and you own it forever. And it's very, very easy to learn. It lets you take these videos and edit them. And the other great thing about a video is that's your source for your pictures too. Look, if you've ever tried to take pictures of dogs, this is divorce time. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, before we did this with videos, Tammy and I would try to get pictures of dogs, and the dogs wouldn't stay in the right position, or their expression was wonderful, then it changed and the camera went click, and you're both getting mad at each other. It's just almost not doable. I mean, I literally would have to take 100 pictures to get one picture that I thought was worth having. I don't do any of that these days. I just simply take that video, freeze frame it, and get the pictures off that video, the screenshots. It's so simple to do. And I don't have to, get a divorce lawyer to help me out of the mess that I got myself in because I was rude to my wife. Do the videos and screenshot. It makes it easy. So that's fundamental. So there's your pictures and videos. Testimonials. Look, if you've got testimonials, they need to be there as your primary thing that you're saying is 1 or 2 testimonials that shows what other people think about you, because this is worth its weight in gold. All right. You got some beautiful puppies on the ground. Wonderful. But nobody knows that you've got those puppies. It used to be back in the day, we'd put an advert in the paper in the classified section, or we'd put something up on a bulletin board at the vet's office. Those days are gone. It's all done online these days. And it's done online because you can get great information to person in terms of the pictures and the videos, testimonials and all those kind of things we talked about. So where do you advertise? Well, let's talk about what I do. I used to use places like Puppy Find. I do not use those places. I haven't used that place in probably 10 years. It's just chock-a-block full of puppies. People are selling purely on price, not on quality. It's really not a place that I want to compete with. So what do? Well, YouTube is a great place because it's free. and you can garner a lot of subscribers. And people, if you do good videos, you may make a video that all of a sudden gets to become viral. Lots of people see it. So YouTube is a great place to start. But social media in general, Facebook is probably one of the best places to be. You've got to be a little careful on Facebook in that you can't advertise dogs for sale. So you don't talk about prices, but you do talk everything about your dogs. And then you direct them to the next place we're going to talk about is your webpage. Should you have a web page? If you're going to do much of this, absolutely you should, because that is a place that you can put tons of content about puppies, about the parents, about you, about your contract, about your breeding program, about how long you've been doing it, testimonials, all of that stuff is going to go on that web page. So the point here is that you've got to go get doing this fast and quickly. And the number one place I would start with would be YouTube, because you can get videos you can then post other places. And then start looking at things like Facebook and TikTok and YouTube Shorts are all great places. Get a web page. Get yourself a web page. Making the sale. So, look, a lot of you think I'm not a salesperson. It's kind of a dirty side to the whole thing. It's like being a used car salesman. No, we are not going to people and knocking on people's doors. People are coming to us because they've seen our beautiful puppies and they're excited and they're interested. You be excited about it as well. And you will find that you will have a better job of making sales. You want to make people your friend. You want to be open. You want to be truthful about what you're doing. You don't want to sugarcoat things because those things come back on you. Be truthful. Be honest. If somebody says something negative about your dog, take it in stride. If it's a true statement, agree with it. If they say, oh, it's got a bit of a long tail, and it does, then talk about that. But if they say it's got a long tail and it doesn't, then explain why they're probably not looking at it properly. It's like you're not looking at that in reference to other dogs, or maybe that's that particular picture. Here's another picture. But the point here is be open, be truthful, and be super responsive. So this is one of the things that I think that I see people lack probably the most is that, when I'm buying something and I ask a question, I don't get a response, or I get a response a week later. It's like, no, I'm probably not going to do business with it. Remember, people who are looking at your puppies are also looking at other puppies too. If they are hot to trot, make it happen for them. Don't let them wait on the back burner. So be responsive to emails, messages, phone calls. Get back to people as fast as you reasonably can. Not the next day, and hopefully not 5 hours later. But for me, it's typically within minutes. So be responsive. Be creative. What the hell am I talking about? Look, you've got to separate yourself from all the other thousands of puppies out there that are being sold. And so you've got to stand out from the crowd. And some of the ways you can do that is to be creative. Give you an example. When you're taking pictures of puppies, number one, don't ever take pictures where you've got all kinds of detritus in the background that takes away from what you're trying to show your puppy. Cages and dirty things, laundry out and plates and cups. No, make it just clean and concise, and it's about these puppies that we're trying to sell. So that's the first thing. Be creative. Number two, when you go to somebody who's a puppy mill, their puppies are puppy 1, puppy 2, puppy 3. No, we don't want any part of that. Our puppies, and I suspect yours are too, are raised in your house in a family environment. Show that, because it makes a difference to the social behavior of those dogs. And one of the ways that you show that is that you have individual names for your puppies. You don't call them puppy 1, puppy 2. You call them Bentley and Porsche and Ferrari. And that's another point here, is be creative in the names. Make it a theme. It makes it easier for somebody to understand what you're doing, and it shows the kind of love that you have. And finally, jewelry is what I love to put on dogs, but the same jewelry or the same colored band every time you take a picture of that dog. So people associate, this particular dog that's got the diamonds around his neck is Princess Leia, and they know which that dog is. So be creative. It will make you stand out from the crowd. And then you can be creative in terms of the sale. So you've got somebody who you want this amount of money and they want to pay you less. And so you've got to an impasse point. How do you get past this? Well, be creative. So here's some creative ways. Finance it. Get the bulk of the money right away. The last part of the money they get when they give you the last part, and then you give them the paperwork for the dog. So that's one way. If they want to breed this dog, that would be a way of controlling it. Number two would be is maybe I'll give you at the lower price, but you've got to give me a puppy back when the time comes. It's got to be written in the contract properly, but you could get a puppy back. Another one might be that you co-own that dog with somebody. Where you say, okay, you take the dog, and I only do this, by the way, for people who are close to me, within like 60 miles. Give me a small amount of money, you take the dog, and then we're going to co-own that dog. We're going to have litters from it. We're going to participate in the profits that we make from this. You've got to choose the right person. Got to be written up in a contract. But it's another way of being creative. You've got to have a contract on every puppy that you sell. When you start out, you think to yourself, I don't have to worry about that yet. I'm not big enough. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Look, we're going to make this easy for you, because if you go to descriptions under this video, there's a link there where you can go get a PDF of a contract with our names taken out that we use. And you can then change that, modify it, or use it exactly as it is. So we're going to make it easy for you to have a contract. You've got to have a contract. Why? 99% of the time, everything's plain sailing. Nothing goes wrong. Everybody's happy. Nobody even looks at the contract. 1% of the time, something goes wrong and somebody wants something done. And the first place you go is the contract, to look at what's spelled out in the contract or what you do in this particular situation. And then you, at the very least, do what your contract says you will do. And maybe you do more to keep your customer happy. But the point is, when things go wrong, the contract is the thing that you're going to go to as your starting point to negotiate this situation and get it resolved. Have a contract. Congratulations, you got a dog sold. Now you've got to get paid for it. And this can be problematic. So why? Because people can pay you and then take the money back. That would be classic of places like PayPal. I do not take money on PayPal for puppies. So, there's places that are safe. Cash, a check that's cleared your bank and gone through their bank. Same thing with a cashier's check. They can be faked, but as long as they've cleared the bank on both ends, then you're okay. Venmo, Cash App, Apple Pay, those are non-reversible things. So those are all safe. And by the way, just talk about deposits for a moment here, because when you sell a puppy, you need to take a deposit. Why? Because you are saying to that person, hey, you want little puppy Joey, wonderful. I need a deposit to firm that up. Because the moment that you get the deposit is the moment you no longer try to advertise that dog to anybody else. So you've got to make sure they understand this is a non-refundable deposit. And the terms and conditions of that should be spelled out in the contract in terms of how can they get their money back and under what circumstances. And if they can't get their money back, then that needs to be explicitly noted right there and then. But the point here is, look, if you're in a situation where you've sold a puppy, they need to give you a deposit to show that they really want that puppy. You're going to start marketing it. And then when the time comes, you need to get the balance of that money before the puppy ever leaves. And they may come back to you and say, oh, well, Johnny had a heart attack and now we can't get the dog. Fine. That's why you keep the $250 or whatever your $500 or whatever the deposit is, because you are now left in a position that this puppy is now not anywhere near as marketable as it was. It's now 9 weeks old and you've got to start the process again. Get a deposit. It stops the tire kickers and it gives you some recourse in the event that it makes it so they've got some skin in the game. Get a deposit. Number 8, scams. Look, anything we're talking about taking money, we've got to talk about scams. The scammers are getting better and better and better at this. They're getting more sophisticated, cleverer, and some of their scams are just hard to detect. So I think one of the most important things you've got to realize is that people can give you money and take it away from you. So make sure the money that you're getting is in fact in your bank before you ever finish a transaction. It's got to clear the bank successfully. So number 2 on this is remember that you can get hurt. Somebody can just scam you and show up with a gun and take your dog and not give you any money. Number 3 is that the customers, they're also worried about a scam. They're worried that they are going to give you money and they're not going to get anything out of it. So you've got to try to and paint the picture that explains what you're going to do and how they're not going to get scammed, right? And then last thing is, when you're doing a transaction, do it in a safe place. Where's a safe place? Foyer of a police department would be a great place. A place that's both safe for you and safe for your customer as well. So here we go, number 9. Getting near the end here. Repeat customers. They are your most valuable asset in terms of future sales. So whenever you sell a puppy, you should be following up with those people to make sure that everything's good, and if there's any problems, take care of them. But make yourself very open and available to people who've got your puppies. Why? Well, first off, it's the right thing to do. But second thing is that they will then say nice things about you and maybe tell other people about what great dogs you've got. So that's the first thing, is it gets you a new genre of customers you never had. And the second thing is, when you talk to these people, ask for a testimonial. Ask them to text you something about how great their experience was, or what was wrong with it, or what was right with it. If you've got good testimonials, shout them out from the mountaintops. There's nothing like that, because remember, one of the major concerns that people have is, are they going to get a dog from a reliable person? And there's nothing like having some history of what you've sold to other people that are happy with, for those people to believe that you are in fact a good person. So, repeat customers, one of your most valuable resources. You need to work on that. You have 3 things that maybe you're not doing that you absolutely should be doing. That's a starting point. There's a lot more information on this, and I've put that all together in a video course, and you can go down below in the description section, and you can go there to breeder101.com, or follow the link in the description, and you can sign up for one of my courses. There's one there called The Secrets of Selling Puppies. It's all about what I talked about, plus a ton more stuff. It's all streaming videos. You don't have to download anything. They're in bite-sized modules from 5 to 20 minutes a piece. You own it forever. It comes with a money-back guarantee. If you don't love it, you can get your money back. And I'm there for you. If you drop me a line through an email on that course section, I can answer a question for you, put a phone number in there. I'll even call you back. So I hope you join up for it. I know you're going to find this useful. I've been doing this for a long time. I certainly had to change my game over the last few years, and it's been very successful for me, and I'm doing much, much better than the average person on selling puppies, and I can make you much better as well. So join up for that course. I know you'll find this useful. Thanks for watching. Bye.